Hi there and welcome to the Unhinged Gamer, gaming videos brought to you by thepalaceofwisdom.co.uk. My name is Mike, and for those of you familiar with the Palace of Wisdom, you may know me from the Geek Show podcast, occasional writer on the site and creator of our marvellous Android app. But enough about me, let's get on with the show. Three of the greatest things created in this world, video gaming, Marvel Comics and Lego, have finally been brought together to create Lego Marvel Superheroes. Ever since their first incarnation with the Star Wars franchise, the LEGO video games have always been about fun, bit humour, few in-jokes there for the fanboys, and all around great gameplay. From Indiana Jones to Lord of the Rings, TT games have always been about topping themselves. They've always been about trying to do one better for each sequel, for each new franchise they bring to the LEGO world. Now, following on from the success they've had with DC and the LEGO Batman series, they've made the jump to Marvel, and it is quite possibly the best LEGO video game out there. The game features a unique story that takes a lot of inspiration from the now established Marvel movie universe. With Sony and 20th Century Fox holding a number of the Marvel characters' movie rights, it's not surprising that TT have turned to the comics to fill in the gaps and bring characters such as Spider-Man, the X-Men, and Fantastic Four into the game, as well as all of the villains that are associated with those characters. The story, however, is incredibly Avengers-centric, and there are a lot of references made throughout the story that come back directly to the movie universe. So there's going to be a lot of jokes in there that you're not going to get if you haven't seen those movies. Don't worry though, because the jokes come thick and fast throughout the entire game, and they're not limited to Marvel. DC, even Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings all get an in-joke every now and again throughout the game. Anyway, on with the story. Silver Surfer comes to Earth on behalf of Galactus. He's chased down by Iron Man, and then they're both attacked by Doctor Doom. During the attack, the surfboard is destroyed and it becomes cosmic bricks. This then starts off an evil plot on behalf of Doctor Doom, where the bricks are collected around the world by a number of villains to create the Doctor Doom's Doom Ray of Doom.
Doom's Doom Ray of Doom.
Nick Fury and the Avengers then get wind of this plan, and before you know it, they're destroying half of New York, along with a few islands, a few bad guy bases. All in all, it's a standard comic book story. Good guys versus bad guys, world in peril. This game has everything we've come to expect from the Marvel universe. It has fanboy only in-jokes, a post-credits scene, well, post-credits level, references to other media like the movies, there's some interestingly named trophies or achievements if you're on Xbox, but my favourite amongst all these is the appearance of Stan Lee, creator of most of these characters, and yet he seems more famous now for his movie cameos. One of your side missions through the game is finding and saving Stan from a number of perilous situations. This essentially gives Stan a cameo within each of the levels, kind of a movie in-joke. The game is remarkably detailed given its restrictions. I mean, we're not talking AAA multi-billion-dollar game here, and it is a 6-console current and next-gen release. Each of the levels has been created with every effort taken to ensure that the user is fully immersed in a Marvel universe. As with all LEGO games, the shelf life of this game is extensive. Having completed the story, you're then treated to an array of side missions and activities in open world New York City. Now, considering New York City hub is supposedly more of a distraction than an important part of the main gameplay, it's amazing to see that they've gone to so much effort to create something straight out of the comics, which essentially has a life of its own. And it's complete with landmarks like Stark Tower, the Empire State Building, and even the Statue of Liberty. My only complaint comes from being an avid fan of the LEGO games, stretching right back to the Star Wars game. And I know from the last LEGO game I played, LEGO Batman 2, the open world Gotham was the sheer size and scale of it. The New York just doesn't feel the same. It just feels smaller. All you guys out there that have played LEGO games before will be happy to know that TT have stuck with their if it's not broke don't fix it attitude, and the gameplay is basically the same in all the levels. You've got to use different characters depending on the powers to open and destroy certain objects, to create new objects or defeat the bad guys. Pretty much bulk standard, going all the way back to Star Wars. Some gamers might not be happy with this, but TT have proven that this works. And where their target audience is such a young age, it makes sense to keep a bit of consistency. There is a downside, however, to the attitude that TT have taken, in the fact that some issues that have long played the series have returned with gusto. Controls are more irritating than ever, and the number of abilities assigned to only a few buttons can cause genuine concern. Both melee attacks and ranged attacks are on one button, and certain powered attacks like Thor and Storm have the ability to use lightning, but they have to charge it up with a button first before it can be used with the other buttons. It can be quite confusing, especially if you're new to LEGO games, or I can imagine for a young child. This isn't the only issue with this game. Disappointingly, given the impressive soundtrack, the audio side of it is lacking a bit. The character voices are not fantastic. The voiceover work, it's a lot of the characters, it just doesn't feel right. The one saving grace, of course, is Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson. He has come back to actually voice his own character. But I wonder why some of the bigger names from the movies couldn't take a bit of time out to do the voiceover work. It would have made the game just that little bit better. Instead, we're treated to voiceover work that I wouldn't put on a Saturday morning cartoon show.
Red Skull, I'm gonna spangle you till you see stars.
Still in that ridiculous outfit. You need a bigger horde. It works. Power levels are stable.
Excellent.
In addition, there are a number of times throughout the game where the recordings just seem of such a low quality, and the overall mixing just leaves you unable to understand some of the dialogue, and it's hidden behind explosions and other sound effects, making it very difficult, especially during the early stages when you're trying to listen to some of the tutorials. Sadly, however, the voiceover work isn't the biggest issue. There's a number of bugs and glitches, ranging from blue coins that are impossible to pick up no matter how many times you try, to hard console crashes when trying to start a new level from free play. As I progressed further through the game, I noticed that there were corruption in the cutscenes as well, which also kind of ruined the atmosphere, so to speak, as well as one very annoying issue that I came across, in which Thor, every time that he went to do a lightning switch, would get stuck in that switch. So you'd end up having to restart the level because you couldn't progress to the next switch. This led to a very frustrating experience at times, and did ruin the experience for me.
What are you planning, Loki?
Overall, this is a very enjoyable game with a fun, highly amusing story, if a tad character heavy in places, but with loads to do once you finish the main story, and the selection of playable characters being as extensive as it is, there's loads to keep you amused for a long time to come. Whether you're an Avengers fan or partial to a bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, everyone is catered for here. The poor voiceover work can be annoying at times, but it doesn't ruin the experience, and the in-game glitches are likely to be picked up by TT Games in a patch fairly quickly. It's just a shame that quality control was lacking pre-release. The cityscape and the levels scream of quality, and the attention to detail taken suggests that Marvel had their guys on the scene during design. LEGO fans will be happy, Marvel fans will be happy. My rating for this game is a strong 4 out of 5. Fun and enjoyable, but by no means perfect. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you'll be back for more soon. As always, the Palace of Wisdom and all the associated shows love a bit of interaction from you guys, so please feel free to leave a comment, visit the site at thepalaceofwisdom.co.uk, or you can tweet me at Unhinged_Gamer, or get in touch via our Facebook page, facebook.com/Palace of Wisdom. Any comments or questions will be mentioned in a follow-up video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. Have fun.
Hulk had time of his life.
Oh yeah, pop and lock. Fizz, click. Oh yeah. If those beats were any fatter, they'd need an elastic waistband.